I remember that one. Some guy went
So
fishing.
Sam, after you guys left during first service to come in here, get ready for a second, there was this question that got posed to me after you left. Who were those people? So why don't you do a brief introduction?
Okay. Well, this is my group from Walla Walla College, and we do music together and everything.
That's a really old guy.
Oh no, he goes to college too. He's there. Yeah, we have Tim. We have. How many drummers does it take to get a consistent band? That was my question I posed to.
How many drummers did you go through?
At least 10.
There's something about Sam.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Introduce yourself.
So, anyways, we have David Bowen.
We've met
David Talk. You know David. We have Andrew Snell on keys. Drew Riddle on bass. And Lizzie Brittany Blankenship singing.
So tell us what's been going on in your life since you left the experience. Can you give us a brief update?
Okay. Well, it's been. Well, I was here in Thanksgiving, but I worked here 2 years ago. 2 years, yeah, 2 years ago. And I left and went to U of O for 2 years. Oh, it's been 3, yeah, because I was at U of O for 2 years studying vocal performance and doing the whole opera thing, which was pretty fun. And this last year, I kind of had a epiphany and transferred schools. I'm finishing up, still doing a music performance degree, but I'm back at Walla Walla University. Hopefully I should be done by next year. We'll see how that goes.
What do you want to do?
Well, I'm looking at, with this being a performance degree, I'm looking at still pursuing opera a bit, but I'm also looking at the possibility of a career as kind of a worship leader doing music ministry type of thing. So, yeah, that goes.
Awesome. Thanks for coming. Hang out with us a little bit. Is there anybody special in your life we need to be praying about, or praying for?
I think she's paying attention because she'd be under the table right now. That's Jamie back there.
Ooh,
She also double as the name of your revelation too. That's why you came back to Walla.
No.
You may be in trouble for that too. You're not my epiphany. All right. Foundation of a great relationship. All right. I'm going to ask Kathy and Ed and Camden to come up here to shift gears a bit. We give this microphone to Ed because we're not giving it to Kathy. She's merely a figurehead. So we have a girl up here. It's your affirmative action. It's true. So, if you haven't heard the word yet, for some reason, last week I announced that I'm resigning as pastor here, transitioning my role to general manager at KTSY Radio, and so we have a lineup of folk who are going to speak a little bit. Camden's got a letter that's been written that he and Susie wrote about the transition, and then Kathy and Ed will talk about some of the details of where we are and answer any questions that you have in general, and just to let you know what's happening with that transition right now. Go ahead, Camden. Don't let Kathy distract you.
She wants to be the center of attention.
It's true.
Go to the center. You think this is the center of attention? Because I know all about that.
Sit down, Kathy. I'm not done here yet. Sit down.
Dear Experience family, most of you are aware by now that Brian has accepted a call to lead KTSY, and if you hadn't, he just told you. And when he takes this position, he will be stepping out of the pastor role here at the Experience. Many of you may be feeling a little shocked or confused at this news. I know I have. But changes such as these can be the launch pad to greater success in the future. Brian leaving us at the Experience, especially since he has been the visible, stable element in a constantly changing church family, is a very sobering and sad thought for all of us. And it will be very easy to talk amongst ourselves about how our leader over the past 6 to 7 years is leaving us. However, I want to challenge us to think differently about this transition. Brian is a great leader. He has led a successful youth ministry team before coming to the Experience, and he has launched an exciting and strong church body over the past 5 years. He has been a visible and stable part of this family, and now his leadership gift is needed elsewhere. This change in our family is a significant one, there's no denying that, but this church is about more than its pastor. From its beginning, the experience has existed for the purposes of reaching the unchurched people in the Treasure Valley for Christ. If we let our vision and goal become any less than this, we have failed as a church. Like all great leaders, Brian has built up a great team of advisors, leaders, and structures. These things are not leaving with him. They have been in place since the church began, and although they have undergone revisions and been restructured a time or two, they have stood the test of time with the spiritual community and are still standing strong. Yes, it is easy to be discouraged at the thought of our visible leader leaving, but Brian is not a linchpin at the experience. The only truly indispensable pieces of this spiritual community are the Godhead, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and the Bible. These are our guides to help us and keep us on track, and we should be looking first and foremost to them. So what do we need to do during this transition? First and foremost, pray. Pray. Pray for the Holy Spirit's guidance during this transition. Pray for our church leadership. Pray for oneness and unity in our spiritual family. Pray for our future pastor and for his spiritual community, which will also be going under a transition. Pray that our hearts will be open to the Holy Spirit and his promptings. Secondly, be positive. It will be really easy to focus on the good times in the past and dread the unknown future, but remember, the past is a memory and the future is what we make it. Instead of spinning in uncertainty and focusing on what we are losing, step up and help someone somewhere in need, either within this community or in your sphere of influence. Helping others will help us stay positive, focused on the good we have, and on our bright future. Third, and equally important as the other two, step up. If you see an area that is lacking in the church, step up and do something about it. If you see a problem that needs to be addressed, talk to one of the leadership team. If you don't know who they are, look on the back of the bulletin or ask a greeter wearing a church logo. For too long, many of us have relied and are gone directly to the pastor with concerns that could have been managed by one of the teams he set up. Now is the time to step up and do what needs to be done. Now is the time to take initiative. Now is the time to grow into the people God